照らし出すんだ明日を希望に満ちた炎消えはしないさなんと吹雪にあっても行き先
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at &TEAM's track Yukiakari. This is a Patreon request. Shout out to Galish for the request. We got 3 different pieces of material to look at with the group, a music video performance version and a special video. I'm excited. I hope y'all are. Let's get started. Yeah, honestly, if I was hearing something in the woods, not my top 5-10 things. Ooh. Really nice amplified reverb in that section is so tasteful. Great drive. Come on now. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. I mean, I don't love the fact there's blood. I'm saying like that cinematic switch off. Come on now. Love that with the Snowlight announced at the beginning. Woo! Come on, Lore. Come on, Lore. Yes. Yes! Wow, that was really nice. Oh, there's more. Oh, come on. We're seated. I don't know what's more impressive, being able to sleep outside or sleep in the snow sitting up. I mean, I know it's a set, but I digress. The question can still be asked, right? Now, I do have a follow-up question, though. Do you hear crickets like that when it's snowing? That's so cool. Oh, stop it. There's more. It's like, come on. see a girl. We're running. They're like, come on, because he's the driver. That makes so much sense. Yeah, we gotta go. You're driving us. Okay then. Wow, this is so fun. But yeah, just a question. Do you hear that type of sound? Like, it's so interesting, right? Like when you hear this, like that totally sounds like the middle of spring, summer, not in the dead of winter. But I'm all for learning new things. Okay, we have a performance version here with the lyrics, so we get to see more wordplay choices. I mean, I love me a good cinematic perspective, but give me the choreo. Let's go. Gosh, I love the instruments used in their tracks. It's so nice. Yeah. It could be the anime section of me that just gets to be satisfied when I hear this kind of track. You know what I mean? There's so much drive in it. Come on now. You better bloom it up. Yeah. Yes. Come on now. Yep. So nice. Yeah, so what's so interesting is that we have a few groups that are, I would say, a few. You have, yeah, I mean, for a lot of the labels, you have kind of a group that is primarily Japanese guys who promote Japanese tracks, but they're in the K-pop industry side, right? So, but also I do believe &TEAM also promotes in the J-pop sense. They're J-pop, they're global, right? So you have &TEAM with HYBE, you got Next G with JYP, you have with SM oh my gosh, NCT Wish, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about in particular. When it comes to just the discography, I really like &TEAM's tracks a lot, and I do think it just scratches the part of my brain of a triumphant drive-based anime opener closer that really hits in familiarity and nostalgia, and it just makes you want to just enjoy what you're listening to. What's fascinating is that with the choreography works with the tracks. But when I guess you guys may be like, well, Jess, whose choreography is your favorite? I really like Alex's choreography that he sets on Next G. Like that, how that works. I really appreciate the innovation or the perspective that Alex brings with Next G. But every entity group, like with the NCT Wish side, they have such fun gimmicks about theirs. And with &TEAM, definitely we have some lore and gimmicks involved there in the Next G, right? Like it's so fascinating how each one is like really dope in a very different way. And how I look forward to all of them when they're on my schedule. All that to say, I just wanted to just say that because I really like the song. Do I feel like it needs a choreo? I think that's just what I've noticed with this group. In a lot of cases, like a song like this, normally I don't affiliate choreography to a track like this, but it's because of what it reminds me of, right? How I associate it in my life. But I appreciate that it exists because of, the group in the industry that it's in. It helps make it very notable, and a lot of people like and appreciate &TEAM for their synchronicity and for their lore in movement quality too, right? So this is really fun. Okay, here we go. When it comes to formations, I really like &TEAM a lot for this. Like, look at that. That's so cool. That transition's so nice. Yeah. Come on. Do it for the fans. I love these special videos. Because we get to appreciate the choreography a lot. Woo! Wow. We got to appreciate that more. Yes, lighting. Yes. This will be about a Harlem Shake, but they said nope. Snowfall. Nice. I love that. Every time I hear it, it's so nice. Yes, come on with the white puffer. Pop off. I always am an advocate for a good puffer. So let me be more specific because I keep thinking about like, okay, it sounds like that I'm downplaying groups. So and team from a choreographic standpoint, the transitions and the overall composition is fantastic. I love it. When I was referencing Next G, the specific thing was the entity of texture and choreography within the content side of it, and how like grungy and interesting it is, how in comparison to how a lot of choreographies are structured in the industry. With this group, how the transitions happen, oh hi Carlos, to the track, like it goes back to a lot of their tracks that I've encountered. You normally you would not expect choreography to if you just listened to the song and didn't know the affiliation. That's where I'm coming from. And then, oh, look at him. But seeing the choreography to it, it works very well. So if anything, and team watching their work allows me the privilege of growing through figuring out different ways in which movement quality can be showcased to tracks that I myself have not been inspired to choreograph to as much as I would want, right? So it's inspiring, and I respect the mess out of it. So I wanted to be very clear on that before we dived in. I love pretty much 98.8% of all choreography I get to look at in general, but specifically on the groups that I have touched on, all three of them are freaking bonkers in fun ways. Like, I love them when they're on my schedule. Okay, now let's focus on Team and the mess this is in such a complimentary way. Here we go. Okay. From the top, we have our wrist showcased and accented out. We twinkle the fingers in. So honestly, what's really cool is this is already established. Hands are going to be a priority here because that's the first thing you're going to see us move and groove with, not really grooving, but moving with, is our fingers. And so seeing that there with the pan out is really nice. There's no fixed cam. I don't think we need a fixed cam because every time we've seen the choreography, part of it is they want us to be guided in what they want us to focus on. Now, if we wanted to touch on synchronicity, and we wanted to touch on the actual transitions and how they look like, and from like a concert full cam view, that would be where we would want to fix cam. But here, for the type of track it is, I don't mind being guided cinematically in some of these shots, especially if it's a special video, because the intention isn't really, hey, look at how clean our transitions are. It's, hey, we're doing this because we really appreciate having you guys in our lives. It's kind of like that, right? Which is really nice. So I like how we open, we switch off is great. I mean, it's so subtle, but so nice. I really appreciate the usage of 9 people in the composition of this, because you have 4 that are low, but you even have levels within the 4 that are a lower level. You still have somebody in center, and then you have it symmetrical, but then they also transition out with a subtle slide to create depth in the formation. It's so freaking nice. And also, a lot of these types of formations remind you of the blobs. Like if you see people who go to therapy like on TV and they like, what does this remind you of? Some of their formations give that kind of vibe, which is kind of dope. It reminds me, you know, of a deer head, or which I feel works well because Team, you know, they are wolves, and I'm assuming the fans are we the deer? I don't know the answers to that, but this is fun. So I like the switch off, just a subtle direction change for the drop down is really nice. Like the pull from the back, you see that they cup the hand, we rotate it around, and notice they are focusing on the hand. So if you've learned hopefully anything from me is hands. If you notice the artist or whoever you're watching dancing, when they all as a collective are looking at the same thing on their body, you as a viewer tend to want to notice that same thing, because realistically in the shot you would want to focus center, but because they themselves are looking at this hand, everybody and their mama's looking up at their hand. What do you want to do? Look at the hand too, because they started low and they traveled it up, so we got to see the transition of it. Once again, hand focused because of the very beginning with the video, which shows a successful collaboration, if you ask me. Where the video is shooting is a very practical example of how the viewers are viewing the routine, or how they want us to view it. A lot of it comes down to how do they want us to focus on the routine the way they want us to. And I'm able to see a lot of really cool moments in it, right? So the pools are really nice. So there's your ISO where they go and they separate from the head down to the chest with that hand fixed pointed. In order to do those types of choices is isolation happening from the shoulder as we're pressing the arm. It's a counterbalance where this is going the opposite way as my chest in order to allow there to be a fixed point where it's stuck in a space so you can have a really cool illusion with isolations for the rest of the body. It's super dope. So I like how they present it. Notice that they have the arm presented down. Arm goes up, and then you have this sound that we're sucking up air in the space. Oh, I love sounds like that. And then we have our arms, boom, shoot up to the sky. And then we melt. Oh, every other line. Goodness gracious. So you have where your first line goes over to the stage left side. Second line goes right, stage left, stage right. I love that. And it was a ripple. Honestly, low key. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a ripple more so than a cannon because everybody joins back together with a nice angsty boom accent, and then you have your feature here. I mean, we've talked so much, and it's just only the first 17 seconds. We love it, right? So you have your feature in front. He's looking more front, but his body's facing side, and I like that everybody. I mean, we have some looking front, but everyone's focusing more in different directions, but you only have that center point really focusing on us. With that pan out is really nice. They're framing to the inside too. They do a nice little port de bras, which we love, an arm carriage position. Then they ripple it around. I love that they're also looking to their hands for this as well. Really nice. And then we accent up every other boom boom, which actually ties quite well into the melts that we saw earlier with the break-offs, right? It's cool, complementary, but we're in a different formation. So much in 23 seconds. So fun. Moving forward, let's go. So now that's a cannon, where it's a cannon through, I would say, it's a mirrored cannon, where you have 1, 2, 3, where, let me see, you have everybody accenting on the same part of the music, but it's a different start and finish time, and I like the reach offs, and it's mirrored in our choices. Come on now, you have your first feature going on into the verse. We love it. Also, I like the reach, and then he pulls it, and they all melt out of it, which is cool. And then you have every other with the arms, boom, with a twinkle, and then they go and present it to the inside. They clasp, and he goes knock to get himself out of the formation, which is cool. So it's just really interesting. Like I said, very interesting, these choices in the transitions in our formations where it's so readable, yet there's always something you can touch on that makes that formation pretty detailed and unique to the group that you have with the quantity that you have, right? When you have like a group of 4 or 5, yes, you can do a lot with that, but having a group of 9, having these break-offs of groups, but then having people come on stage is a really interesting choice that sometimes dancers can really help supplement, but they don't really need dancers unless they're pulling a mega crew concept because they're able to have those types of privileges having the quantity that they have, which is really dope. Online distribution as well. The switch off is great. So we have these melts. He goes and progresses back. Everybody goes and does a little reveal to the front. The melt, melt, melt. Not really, yeah, melt with a little pull down with everybody going and retracting to the inside, which is really nice. And then, of course, we pan it over. Da, 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 da. Come on, Gucci. Little brush press, little feature moment. And then right there, they bring it through. So the only thing is, of course, would we want to appreciate what's going on here a little bit more. We do end up seeing it in the performance version. So let's actually go, what are we at? 42? So probably be around there. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see. Even here. But we were able to see, though, the switch off. So they switched to go to the inside, and then you see my next feature from our first one. He started in the back, and then he progressed to the side. So we got to see something. We're here for it. I love that. So they're grabbing, and I love that their grab actually turned into, I call it like a trigger trace, where their arms are tracing above a reaction, right? And so the reaction is the people. They're progressing back to front. I love those types of choices because it feels connected. When your features are connected to the rest of the members, it always feels way more communal. It feels more relatable, and it feels more genuine with the group as a whole. It doesn't feel like so-and-so and the backup dancers. It feels like this is so-and-so's moment, and everybody is contributing to it to help make them and set them up for success, which is the best way to look at duets or to look at when you're dancing with a partner. Your goal is to make that partner look good, not I'm going to show up and show out and overshadow them. I mean, I think it depends on context. Sometimes in auditions, you could be asked to do that. And then in other cases, some people in auditions may enjoy the fact that you're making somebody else look good, but that also can make you more marketable and also make you look good and more of somebody they want to hire. So it really just depends on context. For me personally, I prefer when everybody feels like they're actually contributing to the same goal, because it helps justify their lore, because they're a pack, right? And packs stick together. It doesn't feel like just one person overshadows them all, and I love that. I like the reach outs with the traces across. It's not every other, it's mirrored. And then I like that we have, it felt like a wave, but I would say give more of a breath because of the positioning of the arms. And then I like the grabs on this, and they rotate. They didn't trace it through like a lot of times I see with that. They just let it go. Totally fine. I like the grab, and they pull it through. They run away. We'll take it. Intimacy of hands. Notice for me, even though I'm clocking my feature, I really am way more hyper-focused on what's going on with hands, because I feel like through exposure of the focus being the hands throughout the routine thus far, it's only about a minute in, that to me is going to be something that I focus on or appreciate or recognize, which can be really good if you're a hands kind of person. It's great. So the melts are nice. He branches it, rotation around, we drop it down. I like that we end up doing a scoop. We take one of the hands, move them away. We end up scooping with that other hand, which is nice. We melt it. Come on now with the walk away. And I like that he ends up grabbing to the side, which causes a grab to the front with our next feature. Come on, accent moment, feature moment. Everyone turns out of it. It looks like a ripple, doom, 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 on that sound. I love the fact even when I'm not seeing everybody, I can assume that that's what the choice is because of the commitment of everyone that I'm seeing in context. Love it. Come on now. Come on, kickball change with a little bit of a pull. We love a kickball change to help push a drive. Come on now. And we bring it out, and I really am digging the studio space with the LEDs and having the lights up. I think I'm more sensitive to how studio spaces look nowadays because I'm trying to figure out, in this room I also do dance covers now, and I'm trying to figure out the best LED lighting setup for myself where it doesn't look like I'm just copying other people that I've seen, because they all look super dope. I want my space to feel like me, but also it doesn't just look like, I don't know, just a bunch of equipment. I just want it to feel like a space you can exist in, but then set stuff up quickly if needed. So anyway, all that to say, I really like the vibes of this with the LEDs up the top, those light, the LED tubes is what I think those are called, and then you have them lined. Those can be pretty expensive, just as a side note if you're curious, even on Temu. Anyway, the pull through. So I like the angstiness of that with the hat. I am so freaking sore right now, so I can't really do that on camera, but I liked how we had the fringe really pop off there. That's the beauty of not wearing a hat sometimes. I'm wearing a hat today, but you can really see the fringe and clock the accent or how full they're going on that. That's a being sore there. Come on with the little barrel jump. We love that. And then they do the arm swing. Now, with this, I'm noticing just in this era with the team, hand team, is I noticed it with, oh my gosh, I just looked at one. It wasn't Big Sookie. It was their most recent, was it Going Blind? That one? I could be wrong, I'm so sorry. But the era that we're in, the previous one I looked at, it was Galish requested it too. We love it. Was that they're not like super, super squeaky clean like we're seeing from Firework or some of their earlier stuff, which I personally think is fine, especially if we're diving into a track like this, and like I've mentioned many times before, it feels like a track you wouldn't do choreography to, but we're seeing choreo to, and it works. I'm here for the perspective shift. It's nice, So it's interesting. So you have the runs, little pas de bourrée on that, I believe, right? Yeah, we're gonna turn this on just a smidge. Yeah, pas de bourrée with the arms, with this, like we're whooshing, moving through the pine needles of life to get to each other. It kind of feels like that, which we love. And then we have the switch off here. Come on with the fingers. We're here for that. Love it. And then we end up seeing this book ended in formation. I don't know if everybody's in the same spots, but notice that we have everybody doing the same arms, same sides, but we're dropping levels. We have those close to our feature here. They're way more spread out in their legs. And then we have two of our guys that are a completely different level. You have your center here with enough separation to create a nice little just framing with him. With this, you do see at the end, the last time they do this, you see the drop off. But then you also see this introduced in a different way. Like, I don't mind the repeat because they only do it about 3 times, right? Nothing crazy. We love it. And then they pull it up. And then they end up doing a knee slide. Good for them. I know one of them has shorts on. So good for him for not scraping up that knee or getting a little rash or rub on because of the type of floor. So I like the reach up is nice out of that. The turn is good. Come on with the point. And then we have the head switch off. Now, do they do something with the feet? Na, 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 na. They don't. That was kind of nice. A lot of times you'll see people do the arm and the head and having a foot complement, but they didn't need to do that. And it worked great. And they pull out of it. They kickball. No, sorry. They set it out, ball change. I love me a good boom, boom, boom. It reminds me a little bit of show choir, if you've ever seen that, at least in America. Ding, ding, ding. They're like, let's go. And I call it squirrel hands, completely side topic. But my point, though, is I really love how we have such a presentation. We're here. It feels open and full, and having white feels redemptive, right? It's dope. Helps with the snow. Come on now with the open. And then, did he do this? Hold on. Ooh, you know what I've never tried? Having both together. I've done them separated, but I have not tried. Ooh, okay, party adjust. We're learning something new today. Did he do that? No, that little doom, that does feel like we're about to Harlem, but we don't Harlem shake it. We just accent with the shoulder twice, which is cool. Yeah, he does. Good for him. I learned something new. We love it. And then it feels like we had a clock like dialing it back a little bit, which is kind of dope. I don't know if that was the intention or not, but that was cool. So I like that we have everybody kind of pass through, but they're recognizing, hey, I see you, I feel you. Boom, we're making contact. Great. We have a connection there. And then I like how they send the arms up. He drops it low. Feels like, you know, if you're playing a game like Temple Run and you're trying to dodge the tree branches, it's kind of like that. We love it. I end up doing a thread through with the leg. Did they do a full thread? Let's see. Yeah, they end up threading, they drop it behind, and then they use that to help reset facing different directions. So he gets to have an angsty moment, not doing something crazy there, but they're being angsty with their choices a little bit more confined, more internalized in these sections. So it feels a little different, right? Tone's different. Because we're back to the verse, it shouldn't feel the same as the chorus, but it should be complementary. So that's how you know composition's pretty healthy, is whenever you see a heartbeat of complexity, simplicity. And you can look at complexity in the terms of how the formations look, the transitions, or the content itself. If it's really difficult or a lot of information to digest in one go, that works with it, right? And so they have that, but also you have okay, if my chorus sounds a certain way and my verse sounds a certain way, let's say there's more or less instruments involved or more or less type of textures of notes or timbres, different types of sounds involved. You want your choreography to recognize that, whether through the formations, through the dynamics, through the textures that you're doing, your posture, your style, or the content that you're doing yourself. So this is what we're noticing here. We have the small groups, different than having everybody there on the chorus. And if we're not going so open, we're not so full. We are showcasing complexity, right? Through going to the floor quickly. The transitions are really interesting, but also less people, but still holding attention. That still looks great, right? So this is all great. The pull, I like how we have our next feature. What I would be curious on for a fixed cam is how easy is it to transition from my feature in center to my feature over in the corner, because the camera aided in that. Would I have been able to clock that as easily? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll never know. So I like the cross behind. Then we have a little wave. The switch off is nice. We pull it, snap it down. Come on, wrist rotation. We're here for it. They do little runs and we do a little slide and come on, transition. And I like how we pan it over. So I like that we had a little setup in the corner. We pull, da-da-da-da. And then we have our grab and then we snap it away. And then we reach it. Come on with the lean back. Nice. And then he gets propped back up. And then he pushes it away. And then he hits it, boom, and he presses it away, which is nice, high, low. And then we push that puffer away. Fun fact, if you haven't heard me say it before, I call puffers airbag, my airbag, because it's so puffy. And I feel like if I fall over, I'm not going to die like if I'm wearing a regular t-shirt. So that's what I just call it. The partner works really nice here where they're a little lower level, but you have mirroring going on where you have opposition. And then you also have my feature doing the same thing as what's going on in the front with the other partners. And then having him do a little shampoo around is nice. Come on, touch the hair. He pushes it and then he pulls away, revealing our next member. Also, side note, we have two of our guys wearing the blonde to the black, which is dope. But can that be confusing for new watchers? Maybe. It's a little tricky for me because I don't really know all their names. I know some of their names. I know a K exists. But what's funny is I forget who K is every time. But anyway, that's life. So I like the heel toes on this with the hinge, and then we drop it, and then we let the body progress up. So it's two different ways that our torso is being used. We have the hinge around, and then we have it low with the pull. But they have the same lower body, so that's why it feels similar but different. It's cool. And then we do a little trace rotation around with an angsty moment again. Na, na, na. Is that K? Maybe. Kickball change. Maybe it's not. And then we press it. Come on, tension. And we push. And then we present out. Da, 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 dee, dee. And then we have our little group of 5. And then we have our 2 accents to the outside, which is nice. Push it back. And then I like that we press the energy to the back with our arms presented front, which is nice. High to mid, we snap it, twinkle, twinkle. No, this is different because instead of having the 2 go to the knees, you have 2 accents happening in the back with your feature in front, where he's not by himself, but he doesn't, everybody near him is going the opposite way, which is super dope. Come on now, and they're getting low. No knees were sacrificed during that section. Pulls are great. We push, we punch it. The outside kickball change, shoulder, shoulder, which is great, but it feels different because the directions are different. And then we have some frozen members to the outside, helps us figure out what's going on. So he holds it, and then it looks like he rotates it in. Feels like we're making a wish. Super nice. They drop to the ground. It's like an assisted pistol squat. They put that arm down, and we sink into it. Really nice. And then from there is super cool. Like, this is a very different vantage point than if we were looking at it from the front. Totally fine. This is really dope. So he has this moment, and he pushes it over. Come on, Ripple with just the head. It's so subtle. It feels like we have a mirror that's delayed. That's cool. Then we have the switch. Then we punch that arm up with the point. Looks great. And we have our arm assisted, so we can push up nice and easy without creating an extra pull that's unnecessary. And I like that we have this angsty walk. It's weighty, and how it gives that impression is a lot of times when you're so tired and you come up, your head can just look really, it just gives the impression of it's really hard to just stand because it's just heavy for us, right? Even just standing to lift our head can be hard. And so when you see movements where your head is secondary, it gives that impression a lot of times, especially when you look in context of the weightiness of our walks. Not saying that they're tired, but giving the impression of being tired is really nice to not actually look at, because there's a difference in how us as viewers will watch it, because sometimes we'll just feel bad. We're like, oh, they look tired, versus, wow, I'm so captivated by the story they're telling. They're showing that they're tired, but there's a drive behind it, right? They're allowing us to be captivated in a different way, but still be able to show depth in their choices. It's nice. The switch ball change is cool. Come on now, notice, boom, we expedited that. Now it felt like, boom, we got it. Let's go. We got a second wind. We push it. I like the opposition going on that we can see there. And he says, moment. And then he punches. Come on now, kickball change. And take the arms up. So this is the first course choreo. I mean, but it's more unified. They're more clumped. So for me, I will affiliate more of the clumps as like a pack meant to be unified, regardless if it's unison. Come on now. Punches are nice. They set it back. It's not even a ball change. They just tap that leg back, and then they pas de bourrée it, so it's a backside front. So they create 3 steps, and then they just do a tap the first time, which is cool. No to the knees. Then we have the same moment. Good for him. Nice. Da-na-na-na-na. Point in opposition, which is fun. And then when he pulls, they all turn around. Love that. Kickball change. Punch. Make it a moment. Ugh, we're here for it. And then he says, boom, let's let it go. And we're frozen. We have the time of our lives. Way to go, guys. I enjoyed that very much. Goodness. Good job, and team, for having freaking great tracks. That was so fun. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. Thank you, Kalish, for your attentive requests to and team. It's been really enjoyable to get to dive in and see what they have in store. I have quite a few Patreon members who have who are on my tiers that you can do requests every month that have contributed to the and team collection that I have on Patreon. So if you're like, Jess, oh my gosh, have you seen this and team performance? There's a chance I may have, and it may be on Patreon, just not scheduled out to YouTube yet. I don't actually know, but you can go check it out. Most of my Patreon requests at this point are all access for all members, regardless if you're a paying member or a free member. You get access to a Patreon requested content, which would be this. So if you want early access to anything and you're like, I don't want to pay for it, you technically can still get a ton of early access to stuff, because I have some awesome Patreon members who request some freaking great stuff. So I can't wait to continue seeing more and team. This was so fun. Y'all know me, I know you. I'm Jess. Thank you, Galish, once again, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.